In today's video, we find out who gets caught in a lie again, what happens when the unexpected is no surprise, and it's not all quite what you thought it was. Well, let's find out, shall we? Hello and welcome to Lawd Lukan. It's time to check the truth for a pulse as we explore another episode of Love During Lockup. On today's show, we see what Slow-Mo's lying about this time.
Like I haven't ate or drank anything.
I check out Emily's pricing structure.
I would definitely want like 2,500.
We find out what happened with Slow-Mo.
I'm feeling much better.
And MC Ayesha's got some bad news. All this and more right here on the Lawd Lukan channel.
Everything was so easy when it was just a dream. This is about to be reality.
Greetings, enchanté, and ciao to you. Big loves to those who've subscribed, you beautiful people. And a diptych base candle to the lords and ladies of the Lukan Manor. Well then, mon petit pois, our first soiree is over in Atlanta, Georgia, to see MC Ayesha and Mikhael. And one of the most annoying things in the world happens. But what could it be? Is it when you're walking along and the people in front of you suddenly stop for no reason? Like they can't look at a shop and walk along at the same time? Stupid. Then you go to walk round them and then they start walking again. I mean, it's not when you're watching YouTube and suddenly the bloody advert.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, try new Pepto Liquid Caps.
And it's not when people are talking with their mouths full. It's...
Look at that. Devil trying to stop me.
Don't you just hate it when that happens? You're walking along minding your own business and some inanimate object just jumps out and grabs hold of your clothing. That's so annoying. A while ago, my car broke down on a very busy road. All the other drivers were like beeping and giving me the laser eyes as they were driving past. And as I walked round to the front of the car, it jumped out and grabbed a hold of my trousers, pulling them down to my knees. So there I was, broken car, annoyed people, and me standing there with my trousers round my ankles. It was like I'd just stopped to show everybody my delightful underwear. Thank you, Lawd Lukan. You're welcome, Lawd Lukan. Anyway, today we've got a mission of the not-so-impossible variety.
I've got to get to Alabama to try and find out what the real truth is.
Oh yes, I do love a good mission nonsensical. We get to use the cool theme music and everything. But Ayesha isn't going alone. No. She is, of course, taking her super amazing sidekick with her.
It's the person that I talk to when I'm upset or happy or anything that's going on in my life.
And who could it be? Could it be DJ Crystal Balls, Ayesha's super great best mate? Is it that guy that just thinks that Mikhael is a scammer? Or is it just an old Cabbage Patch doll from years ago? Yeah, well, it wouldn't be that though, would it? Would it?
You thought I was gonna leave my baby? Did you thought I was gonna leave my baby? Yes, hold my baby.
Sure is. Is it me or do we have some of the most mental people here on this season? Bonita talks to trees and likes to make willy waffles. There's a guy called Moo Moo, and if that isn't weird enough for you, then he's got a thing about feet. Slow-Mo manages to fall in slow-mo and body slams coffee shops. And Ayesha has an emotional support Cabbage Patch Kid. Bless her though, she has had a rather traumatic and neglected childhood and has poured all her love into that little thing. So I think we're totally going to give her a mentalist hall pass on that one. And now, it's time for MC Ayesha and DJ Crystal Balls to go on a road trip to Alabama, a mere 205 miles or around 3.5 hours away. So they load up their luggage, not forgetting Anna Marie, the Cabbage Patch doll, and it's off on the mission we go. A short time later, and we've arrived in Elmore Correctional Center in Alabama. Now, this minimum security state prison may look more like a low-budget holiday camp, but it's no joke. Earlier this month, in fact, 2 inmates were killed in the same day. And in the week prior to that, a man called Mikhael was punctured into a slightly less alive status. What? Mikhael? No, not our Mikhael. This one, unfortunately, was only 28. In fact, it's not just the inmates that you need to be careful of. In this institution, where they have a homicide level that's 20 times the national average, it's also the officers. For example, Robin Murray, 38, was murdered Wednesday at Elmore Correctional Facility in central Alabama. He had served nearly 18 years of a 20-year sentence for stealing $120 in a robbery of a stop and go in 2005. According to multiple reports received by EJI, Mr. Murray was involved in an altercation with a female officer at Elmore earlier that day. Sergeant DeMarcus Sanders, a supervisor who worked for the Alabama Department of Corrections since August 2017, then reportedly ordered other incarcerated people to assault Mr. Murray in retaliation. Mr. Murray was then taken to a cell at the back of the prison, where he was beaten and officers were told to ignore his pleas for help. Mr. Murray was eventually found unresponsive and died at Jackson Hospital later that day. Sanders was then found guilty of murder and booked into Elmore County Jail, where I'm sure they were very pleased to see him. But because there's a bit of a lack of staff and CCTV in a place that was built for 600 inmates but holds over 1,100, it seems that the officers get a bit, carried away, shall we say. 12 officers have been charged with crimes such as murder and manslaughter. One, Kerry Presnell, whose son, Kerry Presnell Jr., was fatally beaten in Elmore in November 2024, got a phone call in which the captain said that Presnell was found behaving strangely in a dormitory shower before being pronounced dead. I'd say that being dead is slightly more than strange behaviour. It's more of a sort of a lack of any behaviour at all, which sort of gives it away. So anyway, this lovely place is where Mikhael finds himself.
Violators will be arrested.
Maybe. So MC Ayesha and DJ Crystal Balls have made the 3.5-hour journey. She filled in all the paperwork, she did the background check, so it's all gonna be fine, isn't it? Well, there's a slight issue with that.
And they never got back to me. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to see Mikhael today, but I have to at least try.
So they've come all this way, but don't actually know if they can get in. You know, that's quite an ambitious plan. Yeah, come on, it's only a prison. It's not like there's like a bunch of rules and stuff. Visiting times, regulations. Nah, don't worry about all that sort of stuff. They love it when 2 women randomly rock up to see their boyfriend.
I made the trip. I'll go in with you.
You're going with me? Okay, let's go in. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Has she ever heard of prisons before? And you see all that sort of barbed wire and fencing? You know, it wasn't really an aesthetic choice.
This is the moment I've been waiting for.
The moment you get laughed at by the front desk for thinking you could just rock up and see your man willy-nilly. Or maybe the moment that they say, no, sorry, you can't see Mick out right now. He's rather busy getting the shit kicked out of him by the officers. But if you'd like to leave a message, I'll see to it that he doesn't get it.
We got it.
Oi, you've left Anna Marie in the car. I hope you've left the window ajar. Parenting's just as good as Alexis and Julius, really, isn't it? Though I suppose their kid at least got a car seat. Right then, it's time for WETV to give Emily a bit more free advertising for her hookering services over in Wells, Nevada. Ugh, I'm kind of sick of this woman already. It's so obvious that she's just here for a bit of exposure. You know, in sort of more ways than one. Because proper reality TV shows, proper reality TV shows like Love Island wouldn't touch her. So grab your hand sanitizer and try not to touch anything as we head back to Bella's brothel. Then we start with Emily retelling a witty moment from one of the first times that she spoke to Justin.
And then the second time he met me on video, I think I had one eyelash hanging down my face, a big baggy t-shirt.
Yeah. No, nobody cares. I'm still reeling from the shock of somebody spending $2,500 for an hour with her. Surely he should have haggled or something. So I decided to go check out if this guy's been totally ripped off or not. And guess what? He totally did. According to various websites, you usually pay between $300 and $700 for an hour in one of these back end of nowhere type places. But you can pay at least $1,000 in one of the more premium places like Sherry's Ranch. For those kind of places, you get a bit more for your money. For example, Sherry's Ranch has private bungalows with jacuzzis and free champagne, complimentary transportation from casinos and hotels in Las Vegas, and women that look a little bit more fresh than they do at Bella's brothel. And it's owned by this guy, Chuck Lee, who is the Assistant Chief Investigator for the Clark County District Attorney's Office. Wow, that's a natural career progression, isn't it? So, Austin from last week, totally robbed. But it turns out that it might be more expensive to work in brothel than you might have thought. And there's a bunch of costs that the girls need to take care of. For example, these sorts of things, let's call them sundries, STI testing, $150 a week, room and board, $46 a day, and sheriff's cards, which is $150 per quarter. A sheriff's card basically says that you're licensed and working in a legal brothel. So if she's there for a month, she'd have to pay, based on an average, $2,130 just to have the job. Or rather, the house makes about $2,000 per girl per month before they've even taken half of their earnings. So if Bella's brothel has between 6 and 8 girls, they're making between $12,000 and $17,000 a month just on the girls' expenses.
When you work in a brothel, you eat, sleep, and work all in one place.
Gross. That bedding probably sounds more like Velcro. Now, and how come she's always quite so sweaty at all the interview parts? That's a hard pass for me. Well, no, that's more sort of a flaccid pass for me, thank you. And oh look, she's going to have a video call with her man Justin. Let's have a little look to see what she's up to on her laptop. Well, it's nothing all that interesting. She's got that CapCut downloader thing, Apple TV. I mean, who even watches that? I think this is the Line app, which is basically WhatsApp with a way of sending money. Pretty boring, really. So Justin comes online and he's still processing the idea of not getting parole as he wanted to.
Did you know there was possibly a chance that, like, the misconducts were gonna you?
I mean, yeah, I knew that.
So why then is he surprised that they turned him down? Did he just think that they'd forget all about the booze and the fighting? Now, whilst I do feel sorry for this guy, and it's terrible that he checked out before his time is due, but he did decide to do the burglary and then got caught for it. He chose to date a woman of easy virtue and then can't handle it. And then he put his heart on parole when he knew he couldn't really get it. So you do have to kind of question this guy's judgment.
Last night, I think it's not easy for me to be feeling that way, and you...
Being ridden harder than Seabiscuit? Taking more sausage than the Louisiana Sausage Bandit? Being stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey? Actually, that Louisiana Sausage Bandit is actually a real thing. This woman was arrested for stealing 12.25 pounds of sausage, and the local press dubbed her the Sausage Bandit. Presumably, someone then pointed out that it might not be the most appropriate nickname, so they changed it to the meat-loving mystery shopper. Good job. But then I think some news Karen came along and said there's nothing funny about cock, so they ended up calling her the Barbecue Bandit instead. Much less fun. Anyway, back to Emily.
I know, it's not the most ideal to be, on call 24/7.
Yeah, I don't think it's the on-call part that he's got a problem with. I don't think Dr. McSteamy's missus was particularly bothered about the on-call bit. It was more about where he's putting his stethoscope that was the problem. But halfway through the conversation, it all ends very abruptly.
At this point, that, we have to.
What a shame. Righty, let's get to our last appointment of much disappointment for the day, shall we? Well, for that, we'll be doing one of those cool mappy zoomy things to this place, Nouveau Modern Mexican and Tequila Bar. And have you guessed who it is yet? Well, last time we saw this person, they were chasing a straw while sitting at this table, and then went on to assault the floor in this particular building. And if you haven't guessed who it is yet, let's go in and find out, shall we?
You okay?
She just fainted.
Just sit here for a second. Don't move.
Call the ambulance.
Yes, it's a Monique and Titus segment. Now, it's totally not funny that she fell over, but shall we have one more look, shall we, for educational purposes? That's totally not funny at all. The floor could have been badly injured. And I love how many emergency services turn up. The ambulance rocks up, then the fire brigade, SWAT, Homeland Security and Greenpeace are on their way too. But it turns out that Slow-Mo fainted, in slow-mo. So they decide to get checked out in the hospital.
I didn't even feel woozy.
All three of you?
All three of you? Slightly alarmed.
y'all, all three of you?
Yeah, you know, make some room. The Robinson girlies are coming aboard. That'll test the old suspension out, won't it? And as one of the sisters, I don't know, Barbara or something. I don't care enough to find out who it was. As she gets in the car, she accidentally releases the man who's been held hostage in the back. See, there he is. So he makes a break for it while he still can. So they get her off to A&E, which is here. And I think the architect of the nearby building has a sense of humour. That's that's an unusual shape, isn't it? Anyways.
I fainted.
Well, you didn't give the lens a wipe, did you? Just saying. Now we've got misty vision. It's like those old-fashioned films where they stick a load of Vaseline over the lens.
Blood work came back normal. I think I was just hungry and hot.
Now, I'll get to that in a second. But have you ever noticed that Slow-Mo can't look at the camera when she's doing the interview bits? She just sort of looks off to the side. We're over here, Mo. Mo, the camera's over here. Over here, Mo. Never mind. So, what does Slow-Mo put the fainting down to?
I've been taking weight loss injections.
Maybe get a refund. I see she's stolen one of their towels too. Good job.
I haven't ate or drank anything since 2 p.m. the day before.
Miss, Slow-Mo's lying, miss. Slow-Mo's lying, miss.
I didn't realize I went that long without water and food.
Let's run the clip. So, all these plates on the table, all these empty glasses, they were just there when you sat down, were they? More lies from the Slow-Mo. Then if she spent less time chasing that straw around, then maybe more water would have made it into the Slow-Mo.
I'm feeling much better. I just need to get some food.
And maybe a little wet wipe for that foundation that you've got all over your top now. Now, I've managed to find out where they were quite easily. But what if I managed to drop us into the random part of Cleveland that they show us in the next clip? Here's Cleveland. Pretty big, huh? Well, let's see if I can land us in Slow-Mo's car. Ready?
I'm feeling much better. I just need to get some food.
Back at her house, which I haven't found yet. At the place that I haven't checked to see if it's rented or not yet. Or whether she bought it, as she says she did, yet. Slow-Mo gets on the phone to tell her man all about the fainting.
Out with my sisters earlier today, and I fainted. Like I haven't ate or drank anything.
Nothing to see here.
Weird, though, like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, what, weird, huh? But I'm a little bit undecided about this next part, and find myself kind of torn between two thoughts. Allow me to explain. So, Slow-Mo tells Titus that she can't make the meeting with his cousins Nigel and Jamal. And so Titus says,
I had conversations with you over and over again about how to carry yourself and how to be on point.
So my first thought was that he was being a bit insensitive, whilst I think she just fell down because she's had a few drinkies, and that's definitely not advised when you're on the Ozempic. Because if you combine alcohol and Ozempic, you can lower your blood sugar, which for somebody who has diabetes is a little bit stupid. But also because it can cause, guess what? Dizziness and... And it also reduces the amount of weight loss that you can actually achieve. So if she was to faint because of all that stuff, then maybe he should be a bit more in tune to her needs. However, since she's lied about all the food and drink that she's had, and that's something he wouldn't know, he would just have to go and rely on what he already knows about her. So, do we assume that he's learned that she's a bit lazy and avoids doing things? That they've already had conversations about how she needs to take care of her business more, because she hasn't been? Or is he just dismissive and failing to empathise with her? It sounds to me like this isn't the first time that she's gone and changed the plans.
Go on and do whatever you feel like is best, or whatever it is, like, they're not paying attention.
Now that's a distinct lack of compassion. But is it because he's just not that into her? Or because that he thinks that that's just how she is? Lazy and evasive.
And something bad happens, like, what is that?
Titus.
But what if she did actually have an issue? Would she deserve that kind of reticence? See, that's where I'm a little bit unsure about all this. But considering that I think she's just had a drink when she really shouldn't have been, and took a drunken dive in the diner, is his reaction justified? Well, whatever the case, Slow-Mo knows one thing for sure. It's probably the camera crew's fault.
In my room with cameras in my face. It's aggravating.
There comes a point in every life where the world stops letting us dream it into something easier, when the stories we told ourselves fall away, and we're left holding the truth in our bare hands, heavy, unvarnished, and difficult to ignore. We probably all try to soften reality, to bend it to the shape that we wish it would take, because hope is a stubborn architect. But the world has its own shadows, its own contours, and its own uninvited storms. And sometimes the people that we trust can't give us honesty, not because they want to deceive us, but because the truth asks for more courage than they have to spare. Because in the end, the truth is the one thing that'll never abandon us. It's the light that remains when every comforting illusion is burned away. And if we're brave enough to walk towards it, it becomes the place where our real life finally begins. That's the end of this video, but that's sure not the end of this episode. And I'll be doing the second half later this week. We'll be back with Kaylee and her money troubles. We'll be meeting the new boy Rich, and much more besides. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to have you here with me. And I do hope you'll join me again soon. So if you like what I do, then please do like, subscribe, and try one of these little beauties. And until I see you again, stay beautiful, love to my three, and you take care of yourself.
Please subscribe now for our plan. Thank you.